Would anybody recall what we had done in the last class? Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Anybody just tell what we did it in the last class?
List operation,
Okay,
traversing list,
okay.
List
And then
methods.
and
methods, okay?
introduction to list methods.
Yes, okay. So as a recap, in the last class we had done list operations, traversing list methods, and followed, along with that we had demos of all the same. Today's class, the agenda for today's class is I'm again continuing with list methods and list functions. So we call it as functions there. And then the programs on list followed with the demo. Okay, along with that, we'll see the demo portion also. So continuing with the part of list methods. So what are the list methods that we saw in the last class?
Append,
Append,
Insert,
insert,
insert, and then I think one more we saw. Extend. Okay. So we had seen three methods. So there's something to tell about insert method. So I'll deal with that at the end of the class. So to move on with some other methods of list. Okay. The first method which I would like to tell here is the method so called as index. Okay. So as the name only indicates, what this method index does is used to get the index position of a particular value in the list. Very simple as it is. Okay, right? So index, when I tell, you should remember that the list index starts from what value?
0.
0.
From 0. And when I'm talking about the index here, it starts with 0 and we are bothered of only positive indexing, no negative indexing here. Okay, positive indexing, right? Suppose you give a value that does not exist in the list by mistake. Okay, the index of the value, suppose if you give a value that exists in the list, the index will be returned. But if you give a value that does not exist in the list, right, in that case, the Python produces an error, or we call it as an exception, which is called as what? Value error. Is that clear, students? Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, showing you the same there. I have a simple list. Okay. Can you all see this? Can you all?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So ls is equal to so and so. Some I have created a list. Then I'm again, remember it is a method. So you should call with respect to the list which you are trying to do the operation. So invoking list is ls followed with dot index of 2. So can anybody guess what is the answer for this particular portion?
0.
0. Remember, so when I give the value here, so this is the argument here is now the value. Remember, it's not the index. If I give the value, it gives the index of that element in the list, which is the first occurrence. First occurrence, very much clear. Look at this. So you have 2 here, you also have 2 here. But the first occurrence is at which index, students?
0.
0. So my answer here will be what, students? Answer is what here? What is the answer? I get the index as 0. Okay. Next, ls.index 10 I have given. So what do you expect?
Value error.
Value error, because you can find that the the element 10 is not present in my list. It's not present. If it is present, it gives the index of a particular element. Which occurrence? First occurrence, remember. Okay. Next, you can just see now this method, which is having, I told you, 1 argument you should give, but I have given 3 arguments. Can you see that? I have given the 3 arguments, wherein 7 is what for me? 7 is my
Element.
element, and the other 2 and 5, whatever I have given, it denotes the range where you should search for the element 5. So what is that range? I'm telling you that it is a range. Very simple as it is. It means that it should search in the list from index. So from index, which index? From index what?
2 to 5.
2 to 2 to. Always remember when you give the range, it should be one less. To 2 to where? 2 to
4.
4. You should remember that. Whenever I tell a range, starting value is the same, but the ending value should be one less than what is specified. Is that clear, students? Yes. So what is the answer for the last statement?
Value error.
Value error. Why?
Because it will search between 2 to 4, but the element 7 is in the position 1.
2 to 4, it is not, 7 is not there.
4, mom.
Yeah.
It is there. 4 to 7. See, it will search from the index 2 to 4. Yes, it is there. 7 is at the position 5. If it was not there, it would have given you index error. Very correct there. Okay, shall we execute and see?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you just see? Oh, it gave me the first answer. The other two answers are where? Okay. Fine. Now, index of 2. Can you see? Index of 2 is that the answer is now what, students?
0.
Yes. And here you can see index of 10. When I give, my answer is what, ma? Value error, stating that 10 is not in my list. Yes or no? Index of 7, 2 comma 5. What is the expected answer here?
4.
4.
You can see the answer is now 4. Are you understanding? Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
the index of 7 comma 2 comma 4 if I give. Index of 7, 2 comma 4. What is the answer?
Value error.
Value error. 2 comma 4 means it searches in the index where to where?
2 and 3.
2 and 3. 2 to 3. That's what it means to say that. So I get a value error. So you can see 7 is not in the list. Remember, when we specify the range, it should be one less than the ending range. Range, when I tell, it is the index. Try to understand here with respect to list. Is that clear, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So quickly running through it. I have another example here. 4 to 10, 5, 3, 2, 6. Index of 2. What's the answer? Quickly.
10.
1.
Index of, why?
Sorry, 1, ma'am. 1.
1, 2. Index, when I tell 2 represents the element. Index job is to find the index of a particular element. Be very careful. Okay, 1. Next. What's the answer for this?
2. 2.
0, 1, 2. Yes. Next. What's the answer for this? Taking this as the list. This is the list for this. What's the answer for this? 2, 3, comma 7. What's the
5.
answer?
5.
5. Okay. From where to where it searches?
3 to 6.
To 6.
So the index 3. 3 to where?
6.
3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. What's the answer?
6.
6. Yes. Be careful. You're making mistakes. Do not make mistakes for the same. Okay. If the value is not present, throws a value error. So index of 53. What is
Value error.
value error? You can see element 53 does not exist in my list. Is that clear? Yes or no, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Next method is now the sort method. So as the name indicates, the method will now sort the contents of the list, which has been used as my invoking list. And by default, the function will sort the items in ascending order. So it is in terms of ascending order. So precisely give a list which is having same type of elements. Mixed type, it will not sort. I hope you are understanding what I mean by that. Okay. So if ls is equal to 3, 10, 5, 16 minus 2, and if I call the sort method ls dot sort, can anybody give me the answer? What does ls contain now? Is ls updated or it is the same?
Updated, ma'am.
Updated. So by default, it will sort in which order? Ascending.
Ascending order.
So what is the answer that I get here?
-2, 3, 5, 10,
Minus 2,
16.
3,
3,
5.
5, 10, 16. Okay. Suppose say you want to sort it in descending order. So what should you do? Very simple it is. So if you want to sort it in the descending order, so we have to give an argument to be set. Set the argument which is shown below. Just very simple. The argument here is reverse. So don't get confused because there is a method called as reverse also. So don't get confused with that. So reverse is an argument to the sort method where you should initialize it to what value, students? True. Reverse equals to true. So when I give reverse equals to true, it will sort it in which order?
Descending order.
Descending order. So what is the answer for the same again?
16, 10,
Reverse
10,
of
5, 3 minus 2. So remember, the invoking list will be sorted. And remember, all this function does not return any list. Rather, it returns a value
updated.
called as what? All this
None. None.
So they return a value called as a none. They do not return any list, but they return none. Okay. Let me sort also quickly here. Okay, let me take ls is equal to 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 10, 1, minus 9, minus 2, something. Let us not bother. So ls dot sort. Yes. So print ls. Can anybody guess the answer?
-9, -2, 1, 2, 3, 10.
3, 10. So minus 9, minus 2, 1, 2, 3, 10. Okay. As I said, it does not support a sorting operation if it is having mixed data types. This is what I mean. So it should be of same data type. Okay. Suppose I give ls dot sort here, then you will get error there itself. Can you see here? ls dot sort when I did, can you see? This not supported between the instances of str and int, right? So it is doing some comparison operator, sort, right? So it is not supported on instances of mixed data type. You cannot give. Try to understand. Are you understanding, students? Yes or no? Okay. So don't get confused. It should be of same data types. Okay. How do you sort it in descending order? What argument should you give?
Reverse is equal to true.
Is equal to true. Okay. Print ls. You can see the answer. It will print it in the descending order. Are you understanding, students? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Can anybody get the answer for this?
Capital A, capital B, then a small a, and
A
then
small.
Z.
Okay. Why?
Based on the ASCII values, ma'am.
Yes, very good. So you can see here, based, actually to be frank, normally speaking, this is wrong. I should have got AA first, then B, then Z. But it will take the ASCII values and then sort it. Okay. So, but then at some point of time where you have to sort it as you expected, that is alphabetical order. Are you understanding? So you will have to sort it by using alphabetical order. So again, you have some argument to be set, something like this. I'll just show you. Let's see. The argument here is, previously it was reverse, here it is key. Key argument is to be set as str dot lower, wherein all the letters, all the elements will be treated by default as lowercase letters. Understanding, students? Yes?
Ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
What is the answer now in this case? What is the answer now in this case?
A, B, Z.
B said. Okay. You can see print less A, B said. So when I said such an argument, so by default, it will be doing it in ASCII-bitical order. So we call this as ASCII-bitical order. ASCII-bitical in sense based on ASCII values. But when I have to do it using what order, students? Alphabetical order. Are you understanding what I'm trying to tell?
Yes, ma'am.
Alphabetical order, you have to set the argument so called as key is equal to str dot lower. Understanding? So this is now ASCII bitical order by default. Okay, so this is how it works. Is that clear, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, I just tried that sort method. Like by
Huh.
giving both int and float in one list, it sorted.
Okay, probably there the arguments int. What is the answer? What answer did you get there? All converted to.
Ma'am, I just gave the list like 3, 3.4 and 9.2
Okay.
like that. Like
Huh.
it sorted like ascending order only.
Okay, so probably internally the int will just get converted to float, and then it will sort, because there is compatible between int and float. So int will be converted to float and it will sort, but not with
Okay, ma'am.
an str. Okay, is that clear?
Okay,
The
ma'am. Thank you.
compatibleness is there. Type conversions. Yeah, what do you tell that? Implicit type conversions will happen there.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, but not with str string. String
Yes, ma'am.
float like that. Okay, int float will work. That's there. Next is about the method reverse method. Don't get confused with reverse method and reverse argument. Okay, this method will now reverse the given list. Okay, very simple as it is. Can anybody guess the answer? When I print ls, what answer I get? Reverse.
1, 3, 4.
6,
It will
1,
just-
3, 4.
Irrespective of the data type, it will just reverse. It will not bother anything about the same. Is that clear? Reverse? I think I will not go for the demonstration of reverse. Okay, next is count. What is count? Don't get confused with count and len. Okay, len gives the length of the list. What does count do, students?
Number of times the value is
This is
present in the list.
present within the list. Okay, the example is like this. So count 2.
3 times.
3 times. So remember now, till here, the methods did not return anything apart from none. But when I go for count, what does it return? What value does it return? What kind of a value?
Integer.
Integer value. So count method returns an integer value. Remember, it will not modify the list. It will not modify this list. Whereas in the previous we saw modification done, but this will not modify. Okay, it will just return the occurrences. Next we have clear method. Can anybody tell me what does clear do?
Empties the list.
Empties the list, removes all the elements in the list and makes the list empty, irrespective of whatever it is. So you should be very careful. Okay. Again. So if I print ls, what do I get now?
Empty list.
How do you represent an empty list?
Just a square.
Just a square bracket.
Empty square brackets. Understood? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Suppose while giving count, if I give an element which does not exist, what happens?
Value error.
Value error. Okay. Something I'll give. So ls dot count of 2. So what is the answer of count of 2 here?
3.
Okay, next. ls dot count of 53. What's the answer?
Value error.
Value error. Think and tell.
In none, ma'am.
None.
0.
Think. Yes, very good. It gives me 0. Be very careful. Count how many times 53 is occurring. It will check. 53 present in the list.
No,
No.
ma'am.
It's 0. Counting, yeah, you're just counting. Similar in an array, you used to count, right? How many times a particular value is appearing in the list? 0. If it is present, 0. Present, the value of occurrence. Not present, it is 0. So remember, it does not return value error. It does not return none. It will return 0 if the element is not there in the list. Be very careful. These are all small things which you should know. Yes, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Next is very good methods which you should know, important methods also for removing elements from the list. Okay, so we have two methods. One is pop and one is remove. I didn't put that, I think. Okay, one is pop, the other one is remove. Remove method also you have. So can anybody tell me, you know pop operation? What does pop do? Pop usually in your stack?
It deletes the last most element.
Yes. So stack follows last in, first out.
First out.
Yes. So pop, it is again the meaning is the same. This method deletes the last element in the list by default. It returns the last element in the list by default. Remember why I'm telling the default. I'll tell you in the next slide. And then after deleting, it also returns the deleted item. So the return of pop is not now, none, sorry. It will return the deleted element. Okay. Let's quickly run through this. Could you see now what I wrote here? I wrote x is equal to ls dot pop. Why? Because pop is returning the element that it's being deleted. So I'll store it in a variable called as x. Now quickly tell me what is ls for me now after this operation?
3, 6 minus 2, 8.
8. So it is deleted. So if I print ls, 3, 6 minus 2, 8. If I print x, what do I get?
10.
10.
10. Right? So pop is a method which deletes the last element in the list. So this method will be very useful for writing programs, you should remember. Similarly, you want to delete not the last element, but some other element in the list. Okay. So you can give a particular index position that has to be deleted. So pop can take one single argument which is giving you the position or the index. Try to understand. So pop can take also a single argument which represents the index or the position of the element that has to be deleted. Okay, just look at this example and give me the answer. So what am I trying to delete here?
B.
First position.
First position element. So you know that A is at which position, students?
0.
B is at position 1. So I am interested in deleting the value B, which is at the position 1. Can anybody guess the answer for T?
A, C within square
It's
bracket.
deleted. It's deleted. Okay. What does X contain for me?
B.
B. So it contains the value B. That clear? Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So it's same thing which goes here. ls of top, right? 2, 3, 4, 8 minus 2, 10. So x is equal to ls dot pop, just pop. So you all know if I give just pop, which item it gets deleted?
10.
Last item.
The last element. So it is pop. Okay. So print ls and also print x. What do you see? So 2, 3, 4, 8 minus 2, 10 is deleted, and the item that is deleted is stored in X. Okay. Similarly, if you want to delete some other element apart from the last element, give its position. So currently my list is this. Yes. So I give a position called as 3, which item gets deleted?
8.
Let's see whether we get the answer. What happened?
ls dot pop.
Sorry. ls dot pop. Okay. So you can see 2, 3, 4 minus 2 is the answer. Earlier it was 2, 3, 4, 8 minus 2. So 8 is being deleted, and the item that is deleted is 8 here. Yes? Yes, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. What about this?
Index error.
Index error. You are trying to delete an element which is at the index 4. You can see the list is having only 4 elements, where the index starts from where to where?
0 to 3.
0 to 3.
So trying to delete 4th index element obviously will throw me an error. Index error. Pop index out of the range. Is that clear, students? Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Method is remove method, and this remove method is useful for removing an element if you don't know its index. Very important. So you don't know the index. See, you don't know how to calculate the index, or your list is very huge. You cannot sit and count the index. In that case, you can just remove the wanted element. Very simple. So we don't know the index, but we know the value to be removed. Then this method can be used. Okay, just look at this, how it is used. So ls.remove 34. What is 34 for me? Quickly. Index or element?
Element.
It is an element. That's the difference between pop and remove. Remember, pop will take index, but remove will take element. Okay. And also remember, the other difference here is remove will not return the deleted item. Rather, it returns none. So pop will return the deleted item. Okay. So what is the answer now? Okay, print ls. So 58 minus 2 to 34 is being deleted. Is that clear, students?
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
what if we have more than one occurrence of that number, ma'am?
That's what. I'll come to that. If there is more than one occurrences, it will always remove the first occurrence. It will remove only the first occurrence of the specified value, but not all the occurrences. Not possible from remove. For that, you have separate thing, that is a del. So we'll see that after your internals, not now. So unlike pop function, the remove function will not return the value that has been deleted. Very simple as it is. Okay. Tell me which 34 gets deleted here.
Fourth element.
You can see there are two occurrences, 34 here, 34 here. So which is that it gets deleted?
First 34.
First occurrence will be deleted. Okay, so what's the answer now? 58 minus 2 minus 12, sorry, 2, 6, 34. Is that clear, students? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And there are some functions which you should know with respect to list. Inbuilt functions they are. Max, min, sum, len. You know what is len. Similarly, max means sum also. I'll just show it. You can guess the answers. Okay, ls is equal to 2, 3, 4, and 12, 134. Okay, so ls dot function. Should I use ls dot? When should I use ls dot? When I'm using what?
A method.
Method.
Methods. So it is a function. Don't use dot and ls. Rather, pass the argument to it. So what does len give me? The answer here.
7.
What is the length of this?
7.
Yes. Similarly, I have other function called as max ls. What does it give?
34.
Maximum value in the list. Similarly, I have min ls. What does it give?
-1.
-1.
-1. Similarly, I have sum of ls. Sum equals to sum of those elements, right? Let us see what answer I get. Then later on, I'll put it there. Oh my God. Ooh. Okay. How do we give only this? Control enter. Right? Fine. Len is what now, students? Can you see? The answer is 7. Max of ls. Can you see the answer is 34? And then min of ls -1. And you can also see the answer of sum of ls. What does it do? It summates the all the elements in the given list, and that's equal to 60. Is that clear, students?
Yes, ma'am.
So using all these things now, we will have to find out certain solutions to the programs, right? So all these methods and your for loops, and then traversing a list, 2 ways of traversing a list, functions, and all these things, we'll have to now write the programs. Now, the simple Python program which I have just taken into consideration, Python program to find sum of all the elements in the given list. Okay. Can anybody guess what you can do?
Using some function.
Using sum. So I have assumed that the list is given, predefined list. So I'll just have a predefined list, ls equals to 10, 12, 14, 16. So I've just created the list in this way. Then what do? Call which function?
Some function.
Okay, sum is a function. So where I'll call it. So, and I have to store it somewhere, isn't it? So I'll write it like this. Capital sum is equal to sum of ls. Right? Then what should I do? Print the sum is equal to so and so. Very simple as it is. So I'm not doing anything. Traversing is not done. Nothing is done. Simply I have written the program using the function. So you should be very careful when you are dealing with the same. Okay. Now the same thing I'll just do it here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Sum is equal to sum of ls. So print sum is equal to sum. Is that clear, students? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
You can see the answer directly. I get the answer as sum 14. What is this? I'm sorry. It's capital sum. Yes. Can you see the answer? Sum is equal to 14. Yes, students? Yes? Is
Yes,
that clear?
ma'am.
Okay. So now this was a predefined list. So I will tell you, I don't want predefined list. I want the list to be read from the user. User has to give me the elements, not you giving the elements, program giving me the elements. So slightly the program varies now. The Python program to find sum of all the elements being read from the user without using any built-in function. So I should find sum without using the built-in function and the elements to be read from the user. So can anybody now guess how do I insert the elements into the list? Which method should I use?
Append method.
Append method. So I should slightly make use of my program to write, read the elements, insert, put it in my list, and then find the sum. So I have just written the program in this way. You people can try to understand the same. And here I have not told you read n elements. No, infinite reading to be done. So I have assumed the program in this way. So just tell me what is the first line doing for me? ls is equal to list. Open brace, close brace. What is ls to me?
Variable.
Okay, what is ls? Variable. What kind of a variable?
It accepts list that is given
Okay,
by
it
the
is
user.
right now empty list. It is an empty list. So I could have written it in this way or also could have written it in this way. ls is equal to what, students? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Empty parenthesis I would have given. This is the constructor that I have used here. Very simple as it is there. Okay, so I am trying to read the elements infinitely. So what should I use here? So I have used sum equals to 0 there. I have used one. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, what am I trying to do here? Answer. What is X containing now?
It's the input number.
It is whatever the user enters, it will be now read and it will be stored in X. Okay. So since it is an infinite loop, I should break at some point of time. So I have just assumed if the user enters a value called as a done, because you all know that this statement which I have just written, X is always of type what? X is of type what, students? Just look at this and tell me X is of type what? str.
String.
I have still not converted to int. Okay. X is of type str. So if any point of time, see, I have assumed as done. You can assume it anything, not a problem. If X is entered to be as done by the user, then what should I do?
Break.
Break. If he has not entered done, he has entered 10, 20 or something like that. So what should I do?
Accept. It should be append to the
Accept
list.
it. Append to the list. So how do I append it?
ls dot append of
A. ls dot append. See, X is still what for me, students?
string.
String.
String. So I'll convert it to my data type called as an int here. It is my convenience. I have assumed that I am reading list of integers. Okay, because sum, I can either do list of integers or list of float. I cannot do anything, sum of strings and all, mixed data type I cannot do. So I have assumed it as int. You can assume it as float also, not a problem there. Okay, then what should I do? Should I come out of the while loop? The next statement should be out of the while. First I'll complete reading, then I'll do summating.
Yes, ma'am.
So I can come out of the while and then find the sum. So you all know that I have told not to use any built-in function. So if I don't use any built-in function, how do I find the sum? I have to traverse the list, that is LS. I have to traverse the list which is containing the elements. So I am trying to traverse the list wherein I have to just use the elements and give the sum. Can I do this? Can I
Yes,
just
ma'am.
for item in LS? For every item in LS, what should I do? What is the clause of for loop?
Sum is equal
Sum
to
equal
sum
to
plus
sum plus
item.
Item. Very simple. Okay. See, try to understand, students. I could have written sum here only, but I just don't want to mix it up. I am reading all the elements first and then finding the sum of the elements. Finish the job. Then print the sum. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Fine. Okay. Just look at this. I'll go to that program later. Write a Python program, print the numbers of a specified list after removing even numbers from it. Try to understand. I'll have to print the numbers of the specified list after removing even numbers from it. So I have to create one list such that it contains the numbers apart from what numbers?
Even number.
Even number.
So how many lists I should create now? This is my specified list. Okay, so I should have one more list which does not contain even numbers. So let that be ls2, which is an empty list. Is that clear? Is that clear, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now tell me what is the next line of statement.
For.
For what?
For item in LS1.
Ls n. Okay, for item in ls1. So I have used x, no problem. For item in ls1.
If x more.
If
X mod 2 is double equal to 0.
okay. What if it is an even number? What will I do? I will not do anything. No. I don't want even numbers. I want only
Not equal to 0.
yes. If x mod 2 not equal to 0, then what should I do?
LS2 dot append of x.
Append of x. Very good. Right? Then the print
Yes, ma'am.
list is ls2. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Write a Python program, the next program to illustrate operations of stacks using list. So now just tell me, what are the various stack operations?
Push, pop,
Push,
display.
pop, display. And there's one more operation called as peek. I very well remember in data structure lab, I would have told you. Peek. What is a peek operation? Peek, P-E-E-K. Students, forgot? Peek or peep it is. Peek, it is peek. Okay. Peek operation refers to an operation where you get the value of the topmost element in the stack. Topmost element of the data structure. Here it is a stack. Understanding? Topmost element is what in the stack? First entered or last entered?
Last enter.
Last entered. Very simple. Okay. Now you all know that the stack data structure is a data structure where insertion and deletion are done at same end or different end.
Same end.
Amen.
Same end. Okay. Now let's look at the code which I have written. By this time you should have analyzed what are the methods for push. Push, which method I can use? There's only one method available.
Insert.
Append.
Append. For popping, which method I should use?
Remove.
Pop or remove.
Pop only.
Pop only. You can just use pop. See, very important. Pop removes the last element. In stack, it is what? Last in?
First out.
Out. Simple pop. Should I use pop with index?
No, ma'am.
Simple pop will work for me. Okay. So, simple program, no complications involved. Simple program I have given to you. Stack is equal to 10 minus 6, 11, 9. So, I've used the name stack now because I'm stimulating stack. What is my original stack?
Stack.
Okay. 10 minus 6, 11, 9. Next. Look at this. What did I do here? Students, can you see?
Yes, ma'am.
Append 12. So what am I trying to simulate here? Which operation?
Push.
Push operation. So what is that update of stack now? Where does
10
12?
minus 6, 11, 9, 12.
12. It gets inserted at the end. So your stack is now below it is 10 minus 6, 11, 9. So above 9 you will put 12. Are you understanding, students?
Yes, ma'am.
How the stack is now. Here it is 10. Here it is minus 6. And here it is 11. Okay. And here it is 9. Okay. About to that you will put now 12. Yes. It is not clear. Okay. Okay. Next operation. Can you just see? Again, what am I trying to do?
Adding another element.
Again, an append. Push operation. So what is the result now?
10 minus 6, 11,
6, 11, 9, 12 and
12, 45.
45. So just display operation is just this. Print stack after push operation is just give stack. So this stimulates which operation for me?
Display.
Display. Okay. Next. Stack dot pop.
45 will be pop.
It pops which element?
45.
Last element.
Last element. So which is my last element in my list now? Currently.
45.
45.
45. So very important. Here after 9, what was inserted? 12.
12.
After 12, what was inserted? 40.
45.
So this pop operation will now remove 45 from my list. Okay. So what is my stack now?
10
Minus 6,
11,
11, 9 and 12. Correct? Correct? Okay. Last one is now the peak operation. What is a peak operation? I told you peak operation is nothing but getting the topmost element in the data structure. That means to say in your stack, the topmost element is what?
12.
12. That means last inserted element. Yes. So how do I get this 12? Very simple. Stack. What should I you could have told me stack of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stack of 5. Correct? Stack of 5 or stack of 4? Stack
4,
of
ma'am.
4.
4.
Yes, but when the stack is huge, I cannot tell the index. So in general, how do I get 4? Can you see this? Stack of the last
Length of stack minus 1.
will be 1 less than the
Length of stack.
length of the list. So stack of len of stack minus 1. So what is the answer for this? What is the answer for this? This answer, len is now 5. Yes, 5 minus 1 is equal to how much, students? 4. So stack of 4, what is the answer? Stack of 4.
12. 12.
Very simple. Okay. Now, quickly tell me, how do you simulate operations of queues then? Append Q will work how? Insertion and deletion done at same end, different ends.
Different ends.
Different ends. Okay. It is first in,
First out.
first out. So tell me, append is the same. Append will do NQ operation. That is insert operation. But deleting pop will not work now. What should I use?
Remove.
Pop with index 0.
Yes, very good. So pop with index 0. Remove, remember, remove will work only when you know the element. Right? If you know the element, it will work. Based on index, it will not work. So simple thing, you can give pop of what, students? Pop of? Pop of what?
Index.
0. So 0, pop of 0 means pop which element?
First element.
The element which is at the index 0, that is my first element. Yes. You remove always the first element irrespective of whatever is your Q. Yes. And which is the peak operation, students? Peak operation for Q. Topmost element, that is last element inserted. Is it the same or should I change it?
Same, ma'am.
Is the same. Peak operation gives you always the topmost element or the last element which is in the data structure. Just remember that. Yes? Yes, students?
Yes, ma'am.
So I have certain programs for you. I should tell you this to read n elements from the user, create the list and display the same. Okay, try to do it. Write a Python program that finds the sum of all even numbers and odd numbers in the predefined list. Right? Then that creates a list of 10 integers. Then create two lists. One is odd list and the even list that has all odd and even values in the list. Fine. Try to do this programs. 6 programs you have. Anyways, Qs I have told you how to do it. Yes. Will you all try doing it, students?
Yes, ma'am.
I will just show you this, how to read n elements from the user so that you can do the rest. Right. Give me 2 minutes. How do you read n elements from the user?
N equal to int of
Input.
input.
Okay.
Enter
N
the number
is
of
equal to enter. Okay, I think you have a class. Input. Enter the.
n elements.
Okay. Enter the number of. Okay. The next. I should read n elements from the user. So what should I use?
For I in range
In range
0, n.
or just n? Enough, no?
Yeah. Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
For I in range 0, n also you can give, but just n also. Okay. So here what we'll read from the user?
Item equal to int of
Element I'll give. Int of input. It is finite loop. Okay. Enter the element. So once he enters, what should I do?
append.
Append.
ls dot
S dot append of element.
append
ELE.
of ELE.
ELE.
Just append it. That's all. Then print.
Print ls.
Will this work? Or I get error. Something is missing.
Creation of list.
Yes. So you should initially create one what list?
Empty list.
Empty list. Otherwise it will not work. Okay. Quickly. Enter the number of elements. I'll just give 3. Can you see? Right now ls is empty. Number of elements to be read is 3. And it is pointing here. So range n generates what values now?
0 to n minus 1.
Okay, 0 to 0, 1. What are the values of I?
0, 1, 2.
0, 1,
Yes.
2.
Okay, so 10. Submit. You see, I is 0, element is 10. Then 10 gets inserted into my list, appends at the end of the list. Then again, I becomes 1, ask the user to enter the number. And then appends here. Can you see the students?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, again, it will ask the user to enter. Can you see the value of I here? An element is 67. Appends at the end of the list. Done with the reading. Print less. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
So using this, you can now, this is predefined list. You can do it. So try to do this, this, and this. Yes? Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Quickly answer for this. Okay, so taking this as a consideration, what is the value of this? Index cat
1.
1.
1.
Why? Because it gives the first occurrence. There are 2 occurrences, but it gives the first occurrences. Okay. How about this?
It removes the first
What's the answer now? What is the value of
3.1411.
11 cat?
True.
True. Okay.
True.
Yes. Fine, students. That's it. Any queries?
No, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Thank you. Try to go through the programs which I have given to you all. Try to do it once. Okay. Fine, ma. Any queries, students? Any queries? Okay.
No, ma'am.
See you in the next class. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. We'll see you in the next class.
Thank you, ma'am.